Hi, Michelle here from StrawBearie.com, and today I'm participating in the We All Scream for Ice Cream Hop, where creators are creating projects inspired by the frozen treat. In the description below, you're going to see a link to the next person in the hop, so make sure you go watch their video, and then make sure you watch all the videos, comment, like, subscribe to all the channels, and I made an ice cream cone card that's super interactive. I am making an ice cream cone with 3 scoops of ice cream on a slimline card. So I drew it out first just on some notebook paper to make sure that I kind of had my sizing right. And I wanted to do this without any fancy tools. So I took a circle die and just traced around it. You could use anything round to make the top part of my ice cream. And then I just kind of drew out a fringe at the bottom of each ice cream that just by hand. I'm doing it out of 3 colors of cardstock. I'm just using cardstock scraps that I had. And in fact, this pink one for the strawberry ice cream, I barely had enough, so I had to kind of fold it diagonally to make this work. You do need to cut it out with a fold up at the top of the ice cream. That is so that it can open later. So I'm cutting out 2 layers at a time for each of my flavors of ice cream. Well, for the cone, I seem to have lost my footage for that, but it wasn't very pretty to begin with. In fact, I had a lot of trial and error. I kind of drew the size of the triangle that I wanted the outside to be, and then folded paper over so that it would fit inside, and then cut off the excess. So I didn't do any math or anything. It was just a lot of trial and error. Then I ran it through my texture machine, which you don't have to do, but I thought it looked good with some extra texture. And now I'm just taking some watercolor markers and putting them on a plate and using a paintbrush and a little bit of water just to kind of give it a little bit of color and a little bit of dimension on the cone. I did want to show that you could do this with limited supplies. So I'm using watercolor markers. Some of them are nice watercolor markers, and some of them are actually Crayola markers, just a little bit darker than the color of the paper that I found, and just adding a little bit of shadows on each of the pieces, just giving it a little bit of, just dimension and a little something extra. I do need to wait for those to dry, so while those wait to dry, I'm going to grab some fun colored paper to put on the inside of my cone. I've just done some measurements to make a triangle that fits inside, and cutting that out with my paper trimmer, and using just a plain white for the middle section, and then a more fun color for the sides. I am tracing out my cone shape for the sides, my little triangles for the sides, on the back side of the paper so that you won't see the pencil marks, but when I turn it over, they're really cute little polka dots that I'm just going to glue to the inside of my cone. I am just using Elmer's glue that I put in the little precision glue bottle. I bought a whole bunch of these glue bottles at once on Amazon, and in the description below you will find a link to my associate page on Amazon where you can find those little glue bottles. There's an affiliate link, so I do receive a small portion of any proceeds at no cost to you, but having that little precision tip just makes it so much easier to use. You're not getting too many big globs of glue, and it's not getting your paper too wet. So got those glued on, and then I start to glue my ice creams together. First of all, we're going to glue that cherry on the top of the strawberry ice cream. Then we're going to glue the strawberry on top of the chocolate, and then the chocolate on top of the vanilla. And I'm going to do this so that each of them can open. So I'm gluing the back of the strawberry onto the front of the chocolate, and the back of the chocolate onto the front of the vanilla, and then the back of the vanilla onto the front of the cone. And you do need to put something heavy over it to kind of let that glue dry for a little while while you're working on other things. It was at this point that I realized that my vanilla was the completely wrong size for the cone, so I had to remake a vanilla and tear it apart from my chocolate and my strawberry, glue it to my cone, but it all works out in the end, and it turned out pretty cute, but this was a lot of trial and error. But I enjoy a good challenge. I knew what I wanted it to look like in the end, and so I just kept working on it. I had to remake things a couple of times just to make sure that I got it the way that I wanted to, and I think it turned out really cute in the end. I think we should all challenge ourselves to do something that's maybe a little different from the norm or a little bit harder to do. I didn't have a stamp that would work, so I practiced my lettering first, and then in each of the ice creams I wrote something, and then in the cone, so it says, I scream, you scream, we all scream. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out the other videos in the collab. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope that you have a super awesome day. I think this ice cream cone card turned out so cute and it's so interactive. I think anybody would love having this slimline ice cream card. Thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed my video. Please hit that subscribe button if you are not a subscriber already. Make sure to check out the next video in the hop. And if you want, you can also use the hashtag #IceCreamCrafts. Toodles!